and we've got the action in front of us. Love seeing Machamp. Love seeing a top laning Machamp. It just warms my heart.
Yeah, a lot of players are actually holding to that this is the best in-role Pokemon. Of course, there is the other school of thought that Lucario is immortal and can never be removed from that spot, but a lot of people still think Machamp may hold the crown for that slot. Fui definitely one of the ones showcasing that. No Light going to be going with that Lucario, just a tried and tested pick. This bot lane, by the way, of Phil, Sodasam, and Pikachu is a very, very strong bot lane. Something you'll find from Born Famous watching them is they communicate a lot. Very talkative team.
Yeah, Pikachu going ahead and getting that contestable Audino here. And look at Sosa, Pika, and Phil just working through. And now they're working on the next Audino down. And they're getting, I'm not going to say bullied, but they're definitely getting kept on their own lawn here, as No Light is all about that action, trying to get right in their face.
Tar's actually able to secure that contestable Audino, and I believe Train LGC got the one before that. So the bot lane right now for No Light doing extremely well. Tar's opting into that Slowbro is going to be giving them that extra range and that extra ability of secure. It's a really, really big pick, and it's why it's become the most popular tank in NA right now.
Absolutely. Look at Dave working through up top here alongside Fui, and that's a deadly combination if I've ever seen one here in the Pokemon Unite game. And look at them moving in tandem, hiding in the grass, and they're trying to jump on somebody, and that's the Bees, but they're moving through. BMT going to kick off along with Akbar there, and they're putting the pressure on. Dave not willing to retreat, hiding in the grass, and Fui's got the support. And look at them getting a lot of good damage in without being worse for wear, and now No Light is pushing into this bottom lane, being their own force to be reckoned with here.
Yeah, the bot lane for No Light Reborn has really been that main strength for them. Foreign Famous, though, having Assassin Dave already getting that Future Sight online does so much work. You saw those Bees get deleted as soon as they cast that ability. Gonna be porting back to base just to get into their jungle, get those levels as soon as possible. Something interesting you'll probably see this team do, a lot of people do this with Gardevoir, is rotate them out of jungle eventually and allow the Venusaur to take a lot of that experience and contestable farm on their side of the map.
We had a 2-level disparity in the slow bros. Just want to point that out. Tar is somebody I pointed out and very experienced in this game, and they were able to flex a little bit in this bottom lane and be the stronger pink animal with the shell on their tail here. Look at Pikachu coming through, trying to get into the action. Fui and Dave holding it down up top, and just a lot of posturing here. It's 7 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock, and Dave going to go in, trying to get some points, maybe trying to put some pressure on to Akbar, kicking straight into Fui, who still gets their points in regardless. Now the action's kicking downstairs, and we're watching as Tarz is leading the charge with Mike Spam, and GLC just on the LGC, just on the retreat a little bit. But look who's there. BMT leaving the top lane to help slide this bottom with the player advantage, and they're working into the goal zone. BMT still in the front lines, and look at all those Bees getting taken by No Light now, and Foreign Famous is still getting caught. Did I just see a solar beam?
Yeah, you have seen a lot more Sludge Bomb Solar Beam recently in the meta. This Venusaur, picking that is going to give them so much extra poke. And guess what poke does for you into a comp like Foreign Famous? They don't have a healer right now. They are running double tank. Any of that poke is going to have to be healed with the availability of the map. And there's not a lot of it in these gigantic team fights. Base and berries aren't going to get you that far. Look how far their HP is down already.
Absolutely. Foreign Famous working on the front foot there, trying to take and pressure the opposing squad. No Light not giving an inch, and Ivysaur gets the first KO on Wigglytuff, and now we're working through KO Streak of 2 for the Venusaur. They evolved off the KO, but here comes Dave getting the KO back on the Lucario. Cinderace getting in the action too, taking down Slowbro, and now LGC is in the face here, trying to do a little bit of work back on Dreadnought, and the left side takes it. That's Akbar sealing it up for No Light, and now they're going to use those that energy, the experience, and shields to move into this bottom goal zone here, as Foreign Famous is forced to just squat on it and not let it disappear out from under them.
Yeah, really nice last hit from BMT there, stealing it right from under Fui's nose there. Really defensive play out of both of these teams, not getting a ton of extra value out of that objective, especially not in the terms of scoring. We're at 5 minutes 40 seconds right now, and it's only 17-42. Oh my god. bees just get removed by the solar beam. That is the strength that trainer LGC can carry. But right now they're getting sang and stunned by Assassin Dave, and then the KO is awarded to Foreign Famous.
And just you mentioned, look at where the Ivysaur is for Foreign Famous. It's in the jungle and it's working through, which means they're going to have Dave in the bottom lane here for a bit, and they're working in. Pika going to use a Sing and try and catch somebody here as Mike Spam and Akbar Tars are all sitting in that bottom goal zone, not willing to give it up, and Foreign Famous not interested in pressuring just yet.
Yeah, no, that seems to be kind of the story of this game. So much posturing, so much setting up very, very early for objectives, but not really trying to push any advantage. But that makes a lot of sense out of No Light. They have so much healing and sustain. They can play these long game fights, where on the other side, Foreign Famous is definitely wanting to find these KOs a little bit earlier. However, the healing out of No Light Reborn is doing very well. Mike Spam making sure they are keeping their entire squad happy and healthy the entire game through.
Yeah, great cotton guards, great use of Leaf Tornado to get the team in and out of that action here. We got 19 seconds till the second Dreadnought, and Foreign Famous has pivoted down faster than not faster than No Light. I just noticed that the Cinderace Akbar had come down, and so is the Lucario here. Foreign Famous going to posture, but everybody is kind of at a stalemate in terms of positioning in this bottom lane.
Pikatif's trying to engage with the Sing, but actually gets found by BMT a little bit early. Now that Sing's going to be on cooldown, that should mean the go button for No Light Reborn. Dreadnought yet to be hit. Okay, finally starts getting leashed over there by a Slowbro. Trainer LGC throwing in a Solar Beam for long range. Spectate mode, not really doing me any favors with those huge abilities. And now a ton of Unite moves coming out of Foreign Famous.
They straight poured out, and now Mike Spam's coming in, but there's two players down for No Light, and Foreign Famous looking real good in this team fight and getting a little bit of advantage. Look at Yumis working on the Dreadnought here, and Dave, Fui, everybody in the mix, not a lot of pressure from No Light, and I don't think they want to get into this action right now. And that Venusaur just went down for almost no value, as all of Foreign Famous is easily going to take Dreadnought here, and that is not a fight No Light wants to get in at this current point in time.
Yeah, definitely trying to play their range a little bit more. Trainer opting into that Solar Beam build, tries to go for the last hit on the Dreadnought, but doesn't get the timing quite perfect, and Foreign Famous secures it. Now, look at this. No pressure on any of the goal zones, even after a second Dreadnought play. Instead, it's just going to be rotating for farm. The Venusaur, Phil, is going to be jumping into that jungle, desperately needs those levels for that final fight, and instead, they're going to be posturing up, making sure that No Light is not allowed to get that Rotom.
Call this the score womp strategy, because they aren't going for it right now, even when the doors are wide open to the barn here. And everybody's just working on mobs, getting their levels up here. And Akbar and BMT going to work on Rotom. Got a half HP, but Phil on the other side going to try and create a little bit of space with their Venusaur here, as Rotom's down to about 1/3 HP. Tar's working in the bottom lane. BMT, Akbar working in the middle. And it's Fui and Yumis pushing back. And now we're just kind of working on bees. Not a big deal. We're just going through, getting our experience. LGC, Mike Spam, and company working it in the middle. Look at all that AOS energy on the board, because none of it's going in. And Phil and Fui are able to take it for Foreign Famous, sending that Rotom. This might be the biggest scoring wave of this whole game.
Finally, it's actually going to be a pretty decent overcap too. They're trying to decide, actually no, they're holding off until that 2-minute mark. They're going to have about a second worth of scoring ability once that happens, they opt into it, just try to get it done early. They want to make sure they're posturing up for this Dreadnought fight. Also, really interesting that it's going to happen. Those Autonos are going to spawn on that side, but that might be a little bit of a bait for No Light Reborn. Now the big score on the bottom side, well, it's completely defenseless.
The Unite moves are kicking off here already in the bottom lane. Dave getting caught. Their HP is getting just withered away, but Buddy Barrier picks them up. Now Pikadiff is leading the charge here with Phil into Tars, and they're able to take the KO on the Slowbro. They're working through who's next on the chopping block. Pikadiff working through, and they're able to take, I think that's BMT, and now Dave sticking in the background, and they're working through, but that's KO streak of 2 for the Wigglytuff, and finally No Light gets on the board with her own KOs. LGC firing some Solar Beams, and that eats up a Gardevoir, and here we go. They might be down by 168-65 on the scoreboard, but they're moving through to Zapdos now, as they have the player advantage. And can they take Zapdos down fast enough? And can Foreign Famous get in the mix fast enough? They're down. They got one player in the mix. Is it a Pikadiff? No. Left side takes it. How hard can they play defense now? No Light gotta get their points in.
Yeah, No Light have to get their points and only having 17 in total. There's the first double point score. There's the Ducat. Now another one coming out of the Venusaur. 217 to 192 in the minute, but they only have the in the lead message, knowing that they're pretty close game until BMT is able to throw in 100. Foreign Famous has a minute to do something here for sure, but they're going to need to find a lot of value. 2 Pokemon on No Light Reborn are in the respawn jail, so they have a little bit of a chance here to earn up. However, getting a little bit of extra farm here, I don't know, Phil just maybe waiting for the rest of their team, wanting to leash so that Assassin Dave can get that KO very quickly and fill their pockets. Looks like a whole 5 stack going into this bottom tier 1 goal zone.
There we go. Solar Beam comes through, but that whole squad landing there. Mike Spam jumping into the middle, going to try and get that action going. Sosa going to push in, and here we go. Another Solar Beam fires to the middle. Nobody's able to get their points in yet. They're skirmishing, and this is relevant here because if they can slide these things, they're going to get points, and Dave forced to retreat a little bit. Sosa in the pocket as well. Tar's moving through, going to get through. The Akbar going to stem it up, but nobody's able to convert just yet, and now I don't think there's enough time on the clock for Foreign Famous to close this one out, and I think game 1 goes to No Light.
No Light Reborn taking that final Unite move out of Assassin Dave, locking LGC in position, but they don't even get KO'd. Yeah, No Light playing a really, really solid game, getting awarded that Zapdos because of how many Unite moves had to get thrown out to save Assassin Dave in that bottom area. Definitely a really nice strategy of trying to get that back cap in after the 2-minute point mark, throw in a lot of points, get them awarded with a nice lead. But instead, No Light Reborn is able to punish that, back cap strategy, throw in so much value in terms of buddy barriers having to be chucked out from Foreign Famous, and they get the damage in, they get the KOs in, and finally, they get the points in.
Let's take a look at Trainer LGC, and they're the ones packing the Solar Beam here, and that is 106k damage dealt. That is not a number to scoff at, my friend.
No, absolutely not. Shout out Trainer LGC, and the Solar Beam build looks real nice right now in that area. Really, really strong play coming out of that player. Yeah, shout outs to a lot of the team. I know BMT was able to really do extremely well in top lane against Fui, a very formidable opponent, was able to keep up in levels and actually gap Fui for a lot of that game until it came to that second Dreadnought, in which the experience definitely flew in the favor of Foreign Famous. However, like I said, in this comp where they're running those 2 tanks, their only source of healing is going to be those Unite move buddy barriers that were thrown out. And I'm not saying that's not anything. That's a ton of extra healing. You saw how much barriers were thrown in there to save Assassin Dave, but the problem is buddy barrier and Unite moves on the longest cooldown of any kind of healing source in the game. So as soon as those are out, that left No Light Reborn to just run it up and find a ton of value out of there. Foreign Famous is going to need to find a way to sustain their team through all the poke of Cinderace, Solar Beam, Tars on the Slowbro putting in work. Mike Spam has the Eldegoss Muscle Band. It's putting in work.
Zoinks, let me ask you this. Solar Beam, was that a choice knowing the team they were going into, saying this is going to be much better running into this squad than, let's say, the Petal Dance Giga Drain combination? Or do you think that's just LGC's bread and butter?
You know what? I don't know this player enough to really decide. It was a great pick if they knew what the other team was going to be playing. You'd love to have that range damage. You want to put in as much poke as possible, especially when the biggest threat on the other side is going to be Assassin Dave on that Gardevoir. Gardevoir, a very, very squishy Pokemon, does not want to get close to you at all. It's going to be playing from really far ranges, whatever given possible. The way to find that range is going to be a really nice Solar Beam. Crosses basically half the map, So if you can close that distance, great work. But honestly, we're seeing this option shows on Venusaurs more and more and more. I know Otter, another player, loves to play this Solar Beam Sludge Bomb build, so could be either one, but hey, it really paid off in game 1.
It looked real good in game 1. Let's take a quick moment here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our next game. Hopefully I don't cut you off from what you see here.
Nope, I see the video. We're good.
All right, we see the video. We're going to pause that before we jump too far ahead here. Let's get our live screen going. So No Light is up 1-0 on Foreign Famous. The very unique comp of You know what? I know we've heard Eldegoss is S tier, but we ain't about it, says Foreign Famous. We're bringing our own noise to this tournament. We're doing pretty well. Let's see if they can bring some parity to this matchup and ultimately win it to continue their quest for qualifying as a top 16 team. This action is going to be underway as this character select screen is going, so let's just jump right into it. Zoinks.
Sounds good. Yeah. What Foreign Famous really needs to do, I think, to clean up this game and find a little bit more of their objectives in this sector is you got to get some earlier scores in for sure. I mean, when that Zapdos fight goes off, you want to have even more of an advantage. I know they had one in this game, but you'd love to find a little bit more scores if you're Foreign Famous. Definitely. Both of these teams are very, very defensive, but I think the award is going to go to whoever puts on a little bit more of the pressure and earns some, reaps the benefits of the aggression.
One thing I'm interested is that obviously Foreign Famous leans into Dave's Gardevoir quite a bit. That almost the perfect counter to that would be the Wigglytuff, a good bottom lane player with their Unite move that's kind of cancels out everything that Gardevoir does with their Unite move. And it's very interesting that No Light knows that and just didn't trend in that direction.
Yeah, it is interesting. Eldegoss being such a must pick, it's strange to see it not played, but that's definitely their bread and butter. They've made their way through this tournament, yes, in loser's bracket now, but have been playing a gauntlet of a day. They've been playing all day and finding a lot of success. So definitely this team comp isn't, F tier or anything like that, but it is going to be finding some value. Trying to wait for that passive experience to tick up. Pokemon Unite, you definitely need to get a last hit to get the evolution. So just trying to find as much value as they can from these normal comps. Interesting as well, so does Sam on the experience share Slowbro. So no support in this bottom lane. I guess we're calling it Slowbro support.
Yeah, I guess so. We just watched Foreign Famous let Pikadiff get that first level 4, so they do have access to Sing, of course. Fui stalking in the grass as Phil Yumas fires a Razor Leaf into the gut, trying to get some contestable Pokemon for themselves. And No Light still working on the front foot, still kind of being oppressive here, pushing forward. And we kind of see some level parity in this second game, which we didn't see in game 1 in that bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely being completely even on either, maybe a little bit more on the side of No Light, but I'm sure that gap will be closed rather quickly, especially with Soda Sam trying to run this experience share. They are trying to funnel all of these Pokemon in towards Phil. They want that Venusaur beefed up and ready to go as soon as possible. That is their biggest win condition for sure. They definitely want that online, especially for those final team fights, but also they need someone to compete with Trainer LGC's last hits. Those Razor Leafs, those Solar Beams, they're putting in some serious work in this game so far.
These teams are ships passing in the night. Not a lot of engagements here with 7 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Fui still hiding in the grass, LGC ready, and they're just kind of all over these contestable Pokemon and like, all right, we're good, and just kind of backing off. Are we going to see some action kicked off, though? A Sing used to retreat. Of course it is. And Foreign Famous finding their way back to their goal zone as it's all about this next Audino, which is the real fight that needs to happen in these Pokemon Unite games.
Yeah, definitely Foreign Famous and No Light Reborn both playing very scale-heavy comps, and they're playing it close to the chest. Playing this one out a little bit like a League of Legends game, making sure that the, cardinal sin of being KO'd is not happening on the other side. They want to keep themselves up constantly. Assassin Dave hitting that level 7, circling with both buffs here, going to be a threat, and Dreadnought's finally up. A nice Solar Beam engage read into a bush, knocks a lot of that health out of that Wigglytuff down.
Absolutely. We're watching Foreign Famous chip into this Dreadnought and not really having any pressure by No Light on them, and they're able to just kind of work through as, oh man, is that the Solar Beam clutch? And now the Eldegoss getting KO, and all of No Light is pushing into Foreign Famous. They said, you were dirtling around trying to get rid of the Dreadnought, and we're coming for you, buddy, as United or BMT is just able to make it out. Mike Spam just posturing in front of the rest of the squad, going to give them the opportunity to retreat as they all get out unscathed after getting that Dreadnought, and what a good look for No Light and a great exchange of resources for them.
Yeah, definitely able to just completely survive and get out. We didn't see any extra aggression coming out of Foreign Famous. Nice Solar Beam to put in some damage. Looks like Assassin Davis got wise to that move and has started able to dodge it. Look how much damage those Secures are on the future site. That Pokemon using that ability is such a threat to this farming phase. When it's in lane, it's going to be a huge problem. And now look, it is residing in lane. Assassin Dave has joined the bot lane squad, and Phil on the Venusaur has moved into the jungle. We've hit that transition point about 6 minutes where they need to swap and try to farm up their carries as much as possible.
And they're working through as the bees are coming through, and that's Sosa with a surf into the middle. I don't know if it's Sosa or So Sad Sam. We'll work through that at some point in time. Tars, LGC and company. KO streak a 2 for LGC. I don't even know where they got them from. They just fired a solar beam into the ether, picked up 2 KOs. That's a day's work. Let's move on. LGC won the retreat after firing a solar beam, of course, and Dave trying to chip in and do their best. BMT going to get some points up top.
BMT winning that 1v1 against Machamp is going to be really, really good in terms of the long game scoring. Not only are they up 57-14, 62 now, but that goal zone in the top is very, very weak in terms of HP or how much it can hold within it. So, okay, really nice engage here. We're countered by the Venusaur, but like I said, Assassin Dave has started to learn where they are and is starting to dodge them more and more and more. Foreign Famous is adapting, and when Foreign Famous can adapt, they are a scary, scary team in any situation.
Almost as if Dave has future sight on that solar beam here, but we're contesting over this Dreadnought now. The teams are coming in. That's a surf on the opposing Slowbro, and we're working through. Foreign Famous well packaged together, working through, and BMT just knifes in and works through, and the Eldegoss is getting the KOs now, but not before Phil Umis gets a taste of their own of that Slowbro. Now they're picking up steam here. Is that a KO streak of 2? KO streak of 2 for the Eldegoss, back the other way for Mike Spam. Cracked on the sticks, says the Cotton Ball, as they're working through a surf back into the is shooting from the distance here. Assassin Dave able to put some work in, but not before No Light. Again, Solar Beam clutching it out. LGC time.
Yo, Mike Spam is built quite different, my friend. That Eldegoss getting 3 KOs right there is highway robbery. No Light very glad that that player is on their team and not on the other side. This Eldegoss, the space style, because they're out of this world.
Absolutely. Fui finally getting some of the farm up top, and they've almost been a ghost in this matchup, sticking pretty heavy to that top lane, but no real dividends paid off quite yet, as that goal zone is still standing.
Yep, 73-14, and again, that has really been the story of this game so far. Maybe slightly less exciting in terms of KOs and scoring, but here we go. Now we're seeing a large engage from Foreign Famous. They're stacked up with all 5, and wow, the Solar Beam is actually able to land on Fui and stop the score.
Absolutely hilarious as all of Foreign Famous is in that bottom goal zone. They're in their points, and look at LGC's positioning as they're just firing in sludge bombs, firing in solar beams. Foreign Famous is able to close out that goal zone, but they took a lot of punishment to do so. And now all of No Light is beginning to posture with 3 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. BMT getting chased by Fui a little bit.
And we finally see a point lead change over here. Foreign Famous 127-104. They're going to have a slight advantage, and I want to emphasize slight as much as I possibly can. 104-127 is almost nothing in a game like Pokemon Unite, but the level gaps are going to be pretty much the same. Foreign Famous want to divvy out those experience points from their 2 jungle players is going to be a little bit different, as Akbar is sitting here at 13.5, almost at 14. So they're definitely putting a lot of their eggs in the Cinderace basket, whereas Foreign Famous is wanting to split that. I really hope it pays off for them in this final team fight, though, because they're going to need to find value, each of them individually, if they need to send it in their direction.
Look at this positioning here right before Dreadnought. Foreign Famous just kind of screening off No Light from getting to the Dreadnought and going to cut them off. So Sad Sam working through Phil, Umis, and Dave on the Dreadnought already. And that Dreadnought's at 50 HP. Here comes Fui. Are they going to make the difference for the first time in this game? They do! They seal up the Dreadnought for the squad. And Pika Diff going to make their way out. Nobody goes down for Foreign Famous. And hopefully Pika Diff goes back to base and gets back into the mix here, because everybody's standing. The action is going to be underway. Mike Spam, that's my player to watch right now.
Yeah, Mike Spam still having that Unite move up. They didn't have to use it in that last situation, so now the Zapdos is alive and well. No one, okay, now finally the hits have started, and Pika Diff is back at full HP. They had to base, and look at all that damage poke that comes in out of the Venusaur. Again, unhealable unless they find another method of doing so. Wigglytuff has to Unite, and so does Slowbro. Lots of Buddy Barriers.
Buddy Barriers are flying here. HP is up. Those shields are up, but those don't last forever, as all of No Light is all over these teammates, and that's 3 players down for Foreign Famous now. Fui getting chased, and they're able to Unite, move into the gut, and throw some fists all around the place. And Fui, are they going to be able to escape? There's just 2 players left. It's Dave and Fui. Dave and Fui. Fui is back, and Dave thing, and they hold it down. And No Light is not interested in starting Zapdos, as we're watching here, as that Zapdos full HP. LGC just throwing a sludge bomb in the middle, and Dave is working on these bees. What is going on here, Zoinks?
Yeah, Fui absolutely popping off. That Unite move completely saved that situation. And now the score goes in for Pikachu. A really nice split play. Zapdos definitely not the main focus of the Foreign Famous. They have the lead, and they got a really nice back cap in. Fui has to escape a little bit here, though, because they don't have the Unite move up. Nice engage by Tars on the surf.
Great surf in, and now the action's going underway as the whole of Foreign Famous is still pocketed together. They're looking good, and they're working through Zapdos. We got a true flip situation here, and it looks like Foreign Famous takes it. And let's see if they can convert some points. We already know the Wigglytuff got in there with their points earlier, and of course the Wigglytuff gets it. KO Shrika 2 for Phil Yumas, and this is the time they want you. Fui in the mix, and they're going to get a KO. KO Shrika 4, just kidding. I thought at least we were going to get one for Fui, but here we go. It is the Phil Yumas show, and now Foreign Famous is just getting their points in, and the concession finally rings true.
Yeah. Foreign Famous doing a really amazing job. Yo, shout out Fui, absolutely. Are you kidding me? That Unite move at the end completely flipped that game on its head. If Fui goes down there, that's a completely different situation. Fui goes down, Assassin Dave is alone in the bot lane. What that means is that Zapdos is ripe for the picking for No Light Reborn, and they flip the scores in the other direction. But no, Fui lives, takes down 2, and then they are able to take the zap, get a nice back cap, every situation. Really well done, coming up in the clutch.
Clutch indeed. It was Dave and Fui held it down, held their own, bought just enough time for the team to get back up, back into the mix, and cause just enough confusion amongst the players on No Light to just buy enough time. They end up getting a true flip situation, lock it down. It's a good look. Good look for Foreign Famous. They said, we don't need heals when we flip into birds, baby.
Yeah, no, yeah, really nice work from Foreign Famous, able to tie it up 1-1. They're going to be going into a Game 3 situation. As a reminder, this isn't their winning in to make it to the finals next time. They are going to have to win another one after this if either team does so. But if they are losing, that means they are knocked out of these qualifiers and are going to be sent home, not competing next weekend. So this is a must-win game, obviously, for both teams.
Yep, their tournament lives on the line here, and we've got Game 3 action because we are squared up 1-1 between No Light and Foreign Famous. We've got the match up, so we're going to get right into it. Why dawdle? Why delay? We in it, baby. Here we go.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, 1-1. We're going to be seeing no team comp changes out of either side. I mean, things have been working out pretty well for both teams, however they want to play it. This, like we've said it a few times, has definitely been a very defensive-minded game and is going to be, like, all focused in on that late game.
The one thing I wanted to identify with No Light is how many full heals they're bringing to the party. 3 characters on No Light carrying full heals. The Venusaur, not one of them.
Yeah, no, Venusaur opting into a different battle item, very interesting. I mean, you're not going to find a ton of value, especially when you're launching in those solar beams or running around with that pedal dance.
Absolutely. Now, Foreign Famous going to try and hold down this bottom lane. You know, we know where they like to live, in that back grass there, just hanging out by their own goal zone. And we know where No Light likes to live, which is in the front foot and putting the pressure on. Look at the team retreating after putting some bullying action of the Audinos. And Foreign Famous, not interested in that action whatsoever.
No, another really solid early rollout here from No Light Reborn. So many of these contestables going in their favor, as well as that experience going in their favor. So, going to be a really nice bot lane. Those first set of Bs are going to be as good as theirs if everything goes according to plan.
2 in the top lane, Foreign Famous. Look where Dave is, right next to Fui. We saw that Game 2, and we're seeing it again here, Game 3, moving together in that lane and going to put the pressure on. But now it's about that action on the Bees here, as that was a good little chip in by So Sad Sam, and now Tars, LGC, and Mike Spam going to put the pressure on, and Pikachu forced to grab a berry and get on the back foot.
Assassin Dave taking a lot of damage, forced back, but that is fine with them. That's exactly where they want to go. That jungle needs to be cleared.
Fui getting in the face of BMT with that little engage, and didn't want to close the door on him just yet, but here we go. The bottom lane is sliding a little bit as Foreign Famous is getting chunked with HP there. Look at Fui, though. Finally a presence in the top lane, able to instigate a little bit and put pressure on themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, No Light getting a nice KO and able to dip out as a squad. Phil trying to sneak that last hit with the Razor Leaf. I don't believe they were able to get it. Would have saw that XP jump quite a bit more if that was the case. 8 minutes now, only 1 minute to Dreadnought, and a pretty low scoring game, but that is sort of the norm, but I wouldn't expect that to change too much as these two teams specifically square up. Assassin Dave with a really interesting jungle rotation, going to be coming through the middle, going to be wanting to move up a little more sneaky positioning, maybe wanting to take BMT and Akbar off guard. Mike Spam just sitting in the middle, baiting a little bit as Tars waits in the wings, trying to land a sneaky surf.
And there we go. The engagement happens. That's well read by Pikadiff with the sleep right in the middle. And look at that surf by So Sad Sam right into Tars. And now the pressure is on No Light to back off a little bit and force to retreat. Akbar going to try and pick up the squad and give the character advantage here. But no, Dave is there as well. And they say, I can support my squad too. Here we go. Are we just going to stare at each other through the screen and through these bees? The answer might be yes, as the battle on the bees started and all of Foreign Famous peels back to the goal zone.
Yes, true. Phil finally getting that Ivysaur level that they desperately need. Only sitting at level 5. The other side is sitting at 7.
Look at that solar beam just finding the soul of 3 players on Foreign Famous right through the bush. You love to see it. Dreadnaught's kicking off. We got 4 players on No Light here. Foreign Famous doing their staggered approach. Tars with the surf going in, and we see the owner go the other way. And I can't believe that was taken already, and that the left side takes it. And who else but the solar beam Venusaur in the house, or Ivysaur in the house.
Yeah, Ivysaur putting in work, obviously does not need that full evolution to find it. BMT gets a really nice engage, finds a ton of value, gets a KO, but they get KO'd in turn. A lot of good damage here, and finally we see these advantages turn into some scores. Mike Spam getting slept here, though, going to be in a little bit of danger, but no, Tars has got their back with Surf, but they will go down for it.
Yeah, Tars really eating it on the chin for Mike Spam to get out on top here, and look at Trainer LGC. They're just going to let themselves go down here. No sense in fighting it. Just get your respawn timer kicking faster. And look at Fui getting into the mix earlier this time. That's 2 KOs, and that's what you want to see if you're Foreign Famous. Get your Machoke, soon Machamp, involved early.
Mm-hmm. And No Light Reborn just really doubling down around LGC's strategy of this Solar Beam. You even see the Cinderace opting into the very much less popular Pyro Ball move. Almost forgot the name of it. I haven't seen it in so long. Moving into that, everything that they have in terms of damage is going to be thrown at range except for BMT's engages. So that is going to be where their engages begin with BMT and Tars, but all the damage is going to be dealt from max distance as UC Akbar finds one.
Great map positioning here by No Light in the face of Foreign Famous, who had a good foothold past the middle of the map here. Let's see what's next on the chopping block. 5:23 on the clock.
Yeah, Machamp throwing in some points on the top. They were actually awarded Rotom, so that base being defenseless means they're going to get quite a bit of scoring. That gap in terms of score has now been closed, 88-74. Only a couple of seconds until we hit that 5-minute mark, and only a few more seconds until the Dreadnought spawns. And already Foreign Famous has postured quite offensively, but now they retreat as they see No Light Reborn running to take some of that bush space as well.
Yeah, we have Dreadnought coming up, and these scoreboards are almost equal in a game where things can slide so crazily. Look at that Solar Beam, just so meticulous with it. It looks great every time, always catching multiple objects at once, either 2 players, 3 players, a mob and a player. It looks good. Here we go, Pikadiff kicking it off in Tars' face with a sleep, and I think they full healed out of that, but now we're working through, and look at Fui just using the Unite move, hiding the grass and coming through here as there Phil Yumas is in the mix using a Unite move. We're kicking this thing off as 2 players are down for No Light, 1 player down for Foreign Famous, but the pressure is on, and Phil's leading the charge here. Can they get Akbar? They cannot. They peel back. The Venusaur getting a KO on Slowbro here as LGC is finding their space, and is Pikadiff going to be the one that eats a Solar Beam next? No, the sleep is on Trainer LGC, and finally somebody gets the KO on the Wigglytuff, and that's Akbar. Now we're working through the bees here, and I don't even think I saw anybody take Dreadnought. It's off the map. It's got to be gone. Somebody got it, and now we're working through as No Light and Foreign Famous are just chipping into each other. There's been so much back and forth action into the teams that whomever chipped into it, and I'm willing to bet it's Foreign Famous, was able to get that experience and those shields and move through the team, but No Light held their own very well.
Absolutely, and the player that we're watching right now, Pikadiff, is absolutely the MVP of that team fight. We saw them go down, but did you see how they did it? A amazing Sing Engage, shutting down the secure ability out of No Light. They found the threat, they engaged, and they shut them down, and that means the secure was off the table for No Light Reborn, and Foreign Famous could clean it up with their Venusaur instead. Fantastic demonstration of what happens at Pokemon Unite when you need to get those last. All right, nice attempt by Mike Spam to get that last last hit, but it's not going to go to their favor. But that just what I was saying, Pikatif is so good at finding value, even if they get KO'd in the process. Really great plays from that player.
Absolutely. They know LGC does not have that full heal now, and that's where Pikatif goes every single time. Little Slowbro telekinesis action, Solar Beam still finding their mark here, and look at all the foreign famous on that bottom goal zone again, just holding it down, and now Dave in the back line's just chucking haymakers across the map here, and we still see Fui getting the retreat here, KO streak of 2 for Akbar, and they're working through that Cinderace looking real hot, or picking up steam at least. Another Solar Beam by LGZ, and Mike Spam and Tars are putting the pressure on to get a good share of that bees, and now everything seems to be settling out just a little bit, just in time for another Dreadnought if either team wants it.
Yeah, nice collapse by Akbar, actually opting not to clear their entire jungle, coming down a little bit early to punish that score attempt from Foreign Famous. So really nice maneuver, and now we see that token jungle rotation out of Foreign Famous. Assassin Dave joining this bot lane. Phil Yumis desperately wants that precious level 13 for the final fight. However, getting Dreadnought is certainly going to be giving them the fast pass towards that.
And they're working through. They've got 6 seconds to get it done, but No Light knows it's not long for this world, so they peel off Dreadnought and they start positioning for Zapdos. But look at this back cap action here. From is this even back cap if the whole team's there? I don't think so. Somebody gets a bunch of points in. That's a hundo burger, straight ducats right in the middle here, and that's before Zapdos has even been started. BMT, Tars, and everybody starting to posture and trying to see where the action is, and look how congested and together Foreign Famous is. They're trying to keep No Light out from the middle, and it's working wonders here as Fui is moving around and Pikatif is ready to sleep their first target.
No Light knows they can't move through one of these middle lanes. There's so much CC on the table for Foreign Famous in the form of attacks and Unite moves, so they have to go with this bigger, more open angle that they can get from the top lane. Foreign Famous has awarded them this, but they have all the positioning. Now they're just waiting for No Light to come to them. They know they have the lead. They know they have the good spot. Now they're going to just push their advantage every second chance they can get.
Yeah, everybody just kind of picking their opportunity, best opportunity here, and somebody's going to have to get some action because there's 106 on the clock, and there's something needs to go down here. Foreign Famous is very comfortable. They're in the lead. BMT Unite. Akbar's still sitting in the grass here, and we're going to try and see if anybody can get this action going, and we just see Cotton Guards coming in. There's Fui coming in. They're saying, I'm instigating this. Cotton Crash right off the grip by Mike Spam getting in the middle. We see Unite moves flying now. The buddy barriers are ramped up, and we're watching through, and BMT goes down real quick, and now 2 players for No Light go down. Foreign Famous has got the pressure on. They don't need heals in this one. They need more damage. They're going for it. Yumis eats a Solar Beam to the face, and the Wigglytuff as well for Foreign Famous is down, so we're even on players here, but look at that back cap by Fui working through, and No Light knows they might have a player advantage, and they need to burn this Zapdos down, but not before the Slowbro and Dave come through. Trainer LGC working through, Akbar working through, Solar Beam finding the Salta Slowbro off the map. Are you kidding me? Akbar and LGC working through Zapdos. Is it going to be the Fui show? They get the KO on Venusaur. They get the KO on Akbar. Holy smokes. Fui picking the team up, shoving them on their back and said, check out these biceps, baby. I got 4 arms like Goro. Put it on me, though. Final boss action. And they seal up Zapdos and force the concession.
Oh my gosh, that Zapdos was just primed for the taking from No Light. Had their 2 best Pokemon at burning that objective right there in the middle. Crawdaunt taking a little bit too much of the aggro maybe for Trainer LGC's liking, but then Fui comes in to shut down any hope that No Light had, clutching up in games 2 and 3. That player is someone to watch. Oh my word, what incredible play. They punched their ticket to the next round, and since I didn't record their game, they actually made it all the way to top 16. Foreign Famous is going to be in your regional, or in your February finals.
I am taking a look at the damage dealt here, and you have to tip the cap to Trainer LGC. That was a show to watch. Those Solar Beams, I mean, they were like homing missiles. They never missed. They were finding so many targets through and through. That was impressive from top to bottom, and I think the most impressive shot was right on the Slowbro off the screen, just like, you guys are probably coming around somewhere through here. Unfortunately, though, they don't get the Machamp, and Fui is the one that closes the door on everyone to help Foreign Famous punch their ticket into a top 16 spot.
That's true. Trainer LGC, the shoutouts for the damage, and honestly, Trainer LGC is showing that they must be spending so much time in the billiards hall. They are lining up double KOs every second chance they get. It was ridiculous. I never saw their name pop up without a streak and a number beside it. Every single time they were getting those double snipes, lining themselves up, finding the angles. We're not playing Unite, we're playing Counter-Strike. And Trainer LGC was finding the value. So shout brought us to that team, a really, really hard team to run into in a loser's bracket situation like this. But hey, this is the NA qualifiers. The best of the best are showing up for this tournament, and we get to see these top teams clash constantly, and there's always the next month.
That was a great showdown between those two squads, and we're pushing deeper into this bracket here. We're going to take another quick pause for the cause, just a couple moments, 3 minutes or less, so we're going to get another match queued up for you as we press on through the NA coverage here at Unite Mics. Zoinks, doobsnax, take a deep breath. We will be right back.